Carolyn and I go to the same coffee place.
Yeah.
And there seems to be an app for everything that there is on the planet, including this coffee shop.
I enjoy this coffee shop, so I go frequently.
She does. She goes a lot.
I can't look because I like trying new coffee shops. I really do. But when I am traveling or when I needed something quick, I can order it on the app, get it, and I know exactly what I'm getting.
Okay.
I don't have to think about it.
So on this app, there's a whole year in review kind of a thing.
I know.
Okay.
I got the email yesterday and started looking at it.
And she was telling me about it, and so I'm like, okay, I'm curious on mine. Because when I go to one of these places and get coffee, I get coffee. Not this, not like Carolyn, what's your order?
I get coffee. I get a grande pike and a venti cup with steamed almond milk to the top.
That sounds less than what I've heard before.
Okay, that one is a double tall, sugar-free vanilla, non-fat, extra hot with whip, extra caramel macchiato. That is my, I'm not dieting and need a specialty drink, please.
Okay, so you see, she knows all the terminology. So we're going to compare apps here on this whole year in review. We'll start with Carolyn. When it comes to ordering your when it comes to ordering your A, so what are you?
I'm a drive-through dynamo. I go through the drive-through.
She visited how many?
32 different stores in 25 different cities.
Isn't that crazy?
I travel.
I'm a cafe superstar. I've only visited 9 stores in 6 different cities.
But
Isn't that crazy?
Travel. Okay, but I travel. For the Fun Patrol a lot. So I'm out and about, going.
She's all over the place. So she goes, okay, so I guess they tell you what your favorite drink is of the year?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's Carolyn's.
Pike Place.
Coffee?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine's the same. I thought it would be that drink thing that you just mentioned.
I love that drink thing, but it has a lot of sugar in it. And so I've tried to cut back on sugar.
So you've gone back to just plain old coffee.
Well, with almond milk. I'm plain.
Oh, okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
Black coffee is not for me.
Mine was the medium roast, too, the Pike thing. Okay, so now they have favorite snack. What's Carolyn's?
The spinach feta egg white wrap.
Same. Oh, wow.
I eat that 3 times a week.
I'm a 10 out of 10. Okay. And then it tells you what kind of person you are.
This thinks I'm a morning person.
Yeah. Well, this knows I'm a morning person. Now, here's the telling part is the number of stars.
If my husband knew, y'all, I don't keep secrets from him, so he'll know. But here's the thing.
After now, he will.
You earn 2 stars for every dollar, but then you earn free stars. Okay, you earn free stars by doing certain things or whatever. So I did not spend this much. Okay.
Okay. So how many stars?
2,255.
I have 158.
I can't, y'all.
158. She has over how many? 25 what?
2,255.
Over 2,200 stars.
Can't.
So what's that? $1,200?
Look, I mean, but you earn free stars, so no.
Yeah, that's what she says. $1,200?
Yeah.
That's a lot for coffee.
I know. This is one of those things where you pray that you don't see the year-end review because you don't know how much money you spend on things, and then you do, and then, oops.
Rob and Lizz, his morning crew.
This is his radio. Carolyn in for Liz this week. So here's this couple that moves to Hawaii. Out there, not knowing really anybody, in the apartment that they moved into, I think the walls are really paper thin because they could hear the music that was coming from next door. Now, this turned out to be really beautiful music because it was somebody playing their piano. And so this couple's like, that's just so pretty. Loud, but pretty.
Who is it?
Yeah, right?
Who's our neighbor?
So they go out and they're like, let's just introduce ourselves to them because this is really good music. It's just not like thumping bass coming through the walls at midnight. It's just beautiful piano music that's happening during the day. So here comes Derek opening up the door. And they're like, oh, well, hey, Derek. Derek's like, hi, I'm 95 years old. And he plays the music like that. Now this couple and Derek, who is now 97 years old, are like best of friends.
Well, yeah, they're neighbors, and they took their neighborly duty very seriously to hang out with this man who was just him and a piano. He needed some friends.
So now they're like bests of buds.
doing all the things together. They've got a whole list of things that they want to do.
It's like a bucket list,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they're hanging out together. I love it. Do you hang out with anybody like that?
I hang out with nobody.
Nobody?
Of course. I'm the biggest loner there is.
No, it's because you
I mean,
go to
come
bed at
on.
like 7 o'clock at night.
Well, that's okay.
That's why.
Nobody else cares about that, but yeah.
We have gotten to know our neighbors, which is really fun because we didn't know them for a long time, and they go to our church. We should know them well. We didn't. And now they are in our small group, and we've gotten to know them and, just become friends with them. And I think that's so important, whether they're elderly or not, to know your neighbors and befriend them and love them.
That is good.
Yeah.
We're neighborly to our neighbors in our neighborhood. They've actually taken us in. But the people that are on the side of the neighborhood, just behind the scenes, Harold and I live in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
A mile from each other, but still in the same neighborhood. But the side that I live on, the people all moved there at the same time because that part of the neighborhood was built at the same time.
Yeah.
So their kids grew up together. They go out together. They vacation together. They do all these things all the time. But they'll have cornhole tournaments and stuff like that and invite us over, which is neat.
But the best part about that you just said? They invited you in.
They did,
Yeah.
which was so nice.
Just like this young couple invited this 95-year-old man into their lives. You too have been invited.
Yes. I don't play the piano.
No.
But
And
they
you're
let
not
us
95. Rob and Lizz, his morning crew.
I always think it's funny when people make predictions on what the new year is going to bring. Like they're predicting about what all the foods are going to be for 2024.
Yeah, not many of them are diet friendly, so it's not going to work with your New Year's resolutions.
What is buckwheat?
It's a type of floury substance that
Really?
makes, because it makes like pancakes, like buckwheat pancakes
is that what that
and
is?
buckwheat bread and it's a different kind of wheat. A darker wheat, maybe it's supposed to be healthier. It's still,
But it's like a flour?
I get,
I don't know.
not like a blooming flour, like flour in the
I know, not a blooming flour.
flour in the thing to make cookies. I don't cook. I don't know.
Neither do I.
Is it gluten free?
But buckwheat is a thing. It's got wheat in it. If it's buckwheat,
Oh, yeah.
so that wouldn't be gluten
So
free.
it's no better for you than wheat.
Then ranch has always been a thing, but they're saying ranch is going to be the thing in 2024, which Scott's daughter, I believe, loves ranch.
She is 18 years old. It has been her thing since she was a baby. I mean, she loves ranch. We've got to keep it in stock in the house at all times.
Certain brand?
No, any kind of brand.
Really? Because
Yeah.
Hidden Valley seems to be the one that people go to all the time.
That's my favorite. Yeah, that's the one I like. But
I'm brand
she's good with
picky.
anything.
Yeah, same here. Same
Yeah.
here. So Caesar salad's supposed to be a thing. McCormick and Company, they do the spices, right? Mm-hmm. So they're supposed to have some kind of spice that's a big deal for this year.
What is it?
I don't know. Tamarind or something like that?
Oh,
And
it's
then
like an African spice, right?
And then the whole snack board thing. So that's the charcuterie boards,
The
right?
charcuterie board.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a charcuterie board. One
I love
girl
saying
made a
charcuterie,
Yeah,
but I
one-
can't say it right.
One girl made a charcuterie board, but with desserts, and I was like, that blew my mind. I thought it could just be meats and cheeses.
But it's
No.
not. It's all desserts.
Anything you want, just throw it on a board and call it charcuterie.
I guess, yeah. And then that superfood mushroom. So
No.
mushroom coffee, mushroom jerky, mushroom chocolate. It's supposed to be a
No.
thing this year. At least that's what they're predicting.
Absolutely not. Mushrooms are great in food, but when you start making coffee out of them and you start making chocolate out of them, you have lied to yourself.
Honestly, I've never had mushroom coffee, so I have nothing to judge off of this thing.
Would you try it?
Yeah, I'd try
no.
it. Absolutely.
No.
I don't know if Scott's ever had mushroom coffee.
I've never had it. And I'm kind of the same way. I'm like, mushroom chocolate?
No.
What is that? That doesn't
Lies.
sound appetizing at all.
It doesn't, does it? I don't even know if Jake and Ninja, our producers, have had mushroom anything like mushroom coffee.
Nah.
No, nobody has.
No. You going to have it in 2024 because it's all trendy?
Nah.
Well, Ninja announced that she's pregnant yesterday, so I'm wondering if that would be a craving.
I don't
Oh.
like coffee right now.
Really?
Yeah.
But you can't?
Well, I can have decaf, low caffeine, but I just don't like the taste of it right now.
I guess, yeah.
But what if we made it with mushrooms? Would that be more appealing to you?
Rob and Lizz, his morning crew.
Okay, so we had a question about buckwheat because it's supposed to be one of the big trending, I guess, foods or whatever it's called for this year. And I'm like, what in the world? I've heard of buckwheat, but what in the world is buckwheat? Well, we're starting to get some answers at 800-447-7234.
Yeah, Kristen texted in and said, I thought buckwheat was a character on The Little Rascals.
Oh, I remember that. And then there's Spanky and alfalfa. Wait a minute. Alfalfa, is that like a spice too?
I think it's a sprout.
A sprout and buckwheat and alfalfa. I never made that correlation before. That's food.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Little Rascals.
For teaching us so much. And Jeannie texted in too and said, I had buckwheat pancakes one time and they were awful.
Really?
So there's that.
I wouldn't know.
And then Rob texted in just the picture. I guess it's a flower of some sort, like an actual plant, like a grain.
So he Googled it and texted us the picture of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know what it means, so.
Okay. Well, here's Eric at 800-447-7234. Hey, Eric.
You were talking about the buckwheat. My wife is Jewish. We eat buckwheat. It's a grain, is what it is. It's not a flour. It's a grain. I mean,
gotcha.
you can grind it into, to make the pancakes and stuff. But it's basically a grain, and it's really, really good. It absorbs a lot of the meat flavors, like if you're having chicken or steak or something of that nature, and it really enhances the flavors.
Oh, okay.
That, it's like a Mediterranean type grain. In the Jewish realm, we call it kasha, is what we call it.
Kasha or buckwheat. Okay, very interesting. I love that, Eric. Thank you.
Either way, the only way this is going to be a food of the year is if we get the word out on what it actually is.
Rob and Lizz, his morning crew.
Here's a guy who just needed to use the potty at the rental car company where he returned his car. And from there, he had to get a drive to the airport. So he got a Lyft or an Uber or something like that that was waiting on him. So he decided, I'm going to use the potty. Well, he really had to go. The thing clogged.
Oh, he went that kind of potty.
Yeah, the thing clogged up. And so he's like, whatever, and walked out.
Well, yeah, because what are you going to do?
So evidently, somehow, maybe odor, aroma, I don't know, but one of the employees were like, ooh, grabbed a plunger, walked out after the guy.
No.
And handed him the plunger and said, dude, could you go take care of what you just did?
Absolutely not.
So the guy walks back in, and he's holding the plunger that was given to him by the rental car company employee. And he's in front of people, and everybody knows what's happened because I don't know if the guy was just like talking on the way out with a plunger in his hand saying, I'm going to give this to that guy. He's going to take care of what happened in there. And so the guy walks back in with a plunger, totally embarrassed because everybody in the place is looking at him as he goes in, takes care of the business that was the business, and then walks out, completely missed his ride, and then had to get another Uber or Lyft that was more expensive to get back off to the airport.
Absolutely not. Number one, the
No, it's
employee
number two.
was in the wrong. In the wrong. Number two. Number two, the important part.
Mm-hmm.
If your potty clogs at your house, at your business, that's your problem, not mine. I'm not going back. I'm not admitting to it. Nothing. I'm staying far away from it.
Hey, they knew who did it.
It doesn't matter.
Because he walked out.
I'm going to walk out. I'm going to take my Uber, and I'm going to be out of there.
Rob and Lizz, his morning crew.
You want to get the potholes gone in your city? Just stick a chair in the pothole.
There's a guy doing this.
Mm-hmm. He put a big old chair in the middle of a pothole and showed the city, this is how big it is. An entire chair sits in there. Well,
We're not talking a folding chair, right?
Oh, no. We're talking a blue armchair that would sit in your grandma's living room. Found it, put it in a hole. Well, other people caught on and ended up adding living room pieces. And now there's an entire living room in this pothole.
And there's one pothole in this guy's neighborhood?
That's how big it is.
Great.
The whole living room set is now in there, and people are taking pictures of it. And you know what? The city council has taken notice.
It's
it
about
turns
time.
out when you put a living room set inside a pothole, it's actually big and you need to do something about it.
Right? Yeah.
they are.
Well, that got some people's attention. Scott's neighborhood, I don't know if you know this, but Scott's neighborhood is known for its potholes.
I've got some streets in the town I live in that could become entire furniture stores. The roads are so bad. There are so many potholes. Now I've got a creative idea. Maybe I can find an old chair. Towed up there.
Instead of rooms are us, it's potholes are us.
Rob and Lizz,
His morning crew.
I don't know if you've ever heard of the Tego lizard.
I have not.
The things are huge. They grow up to be about 4 feet. They weigh 10 pounds.
Ooh.
That's a honking huge lizard.
That's
The
bigger
Tego
than-
lizard. Here's the thing. They're not from here, but they're showing up in South Carolina. And so the powers to be are asking people to, hey, if you see one of these things, let us know immediately because they're not supposed to be here.
Wait a minute. Okay, first of all, are they dangerous? Because they look
Only to the environment. So they're not going to come up to you and say, can I have your big toe?
Okay.
They're not going to do
Okay.
that. But they're doing eggs and they eat other reptiles and nesting birds and live turkey. They like turkey and quail.
No.
Evidently. And they also carry salmonella. So that's the big thing that they're talking about. So the wildlife agencies are like, if you see one of these Tego lizards, they're and you can't miss them. They're huge. There's one that's black and white, and there's another one that's red. And they're
Okay.
called Tego lizards.
So we're not supposed to take care of this on our own. We're supposed to call
No.
somebody. Okay.
And they're like, why are there so many showing up? So there's 24 of the black and white ones, and I think they said 4 or 5 have been reported of the red ones.
And they've
That
caught
are
them
in
all.
South Carolina. I don't know that answer.
Where in South Carolina? I'm
They've
going to
been
need to know more
reported.
information because if one of these shows up at my doorstep, I'm going to need to know.
Rob and Lizz,
His morning crew.
I always think it's funny when people make predictions on what the new year is going to bring. Like they're predicting about what all the foods are going to be for 2024.
Yeah, not many of them are diet friendly, so it's not going to work with your New Year's
what is
resolutions.
buckwheat?
It's a type of floury substance that
Really?
makes because it makes like pancakes, like buckwheat
Oh,
pancakes
is that what that
and
is?
buckwheat bread and it's a different kind of wheat. A darker wheat, maybe it's supposed to be healthier. It's still
But it's like a flour?
I get
I don't know.
not like a blooming flour, like flour in the
I know, not a blooming flour.
flour in the thing to make cookies. I don't cook. I don't know.
Neither do I.
Is it
so-
gluten free?
But buckwheat is a thing. It's got wheat in it. If it's buckwheat,
Oh, yeah.
so that wouldn't be gluten
So
free.
it's no better for you than wheat.
Then ranch has always been a thing, but they're saying ranch is going to be the thing in 2024, which Scott's daughter, I believe, loves ranch.
She is 18 years old. It has been her thing since she was a baby. I mean, she loves ranch. We've got to keep it in stock in the house at all times.
Certain brand?
No, any kind of brand.
Really? Because
Yeah.
Hidden Valley seems to be the one that people go to all the time.
That's my favorite. Yeah, that's one I like. But
I'm brand
she's good with
picky.
anything.
Yeah, same here. Same
Yeah.
here. So Caesar salad's supposed to be a thing. McCormick and Company, they do the spices, right? Mm-hmm. So they're supposed to have some kind of spice that's a big deal for this year.
What is it?
I don't know. Tamarind or something like that?
Oh,
And
it's
then
like
s-
an African spice, right?
And then the whole snack board thing. So that's the charcuterie boards,
The
right?
charcuterie board.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a charcuterie board.
I
One
love
girl
saying
made a
charcuterie,
Yeah,
but I
one-
can't say it right.
One girl made a charcuterie board, but with desserts, and I was like, that blew my mind. I thought it could just be meats and cheeses.
But it's
No.
not. It's all desserts.
Anything you want, just throw it on a board and call it charcuterie.
I guess, yeah. And then that superfood mushroom. So
No.
mushroom coffee, mushroom jerky, mushroom chocolate. It's supposed to be a
No.
thing this year. At least that's what they're predicting.
Absolutely not. Mushrooms are great in food, but when you start making coffee out of them and you start making chocolate out of them, you have lied to yourself.
Honestly, I've never had mushroom coffee, so I have nothing to judge off of this thing.
Would you try it?
Yeah, I'd try
no.
it. Absolutely.
No.
I don't know if Scott's ever had mushroom coffee.
I've never had it. And I'm kind of the same way. I'm like, mushroom chocolate?
No.
What is that? That doesn't
Lies.
sound appetizing at all.
It doesn't, does it? I don't even know if Jake and Ninja, our producers, have had mushroom anything like mushroom coffee.
Nah.
No,
thank
nobody
you.
has.
No. You going to have it in 2024 because it's all trendy?
Nah.
Well, Ninja announced that she's pregnant yesterday, so I'm wondering if that would be a craving.
I don't
Oh.
like coffee right now.
Really?
Yeah.
But you can't?
Well, I can have decaf, low caffeine, but I just don't like the taste of it right now.
I guess, yeah.
But what if we made it with mushrooms? Would that be more appealing to you?
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I'm Harlan, filling in for Liz this morning, and I'm pretty thankful about this.
About gas prices? I mean, they are just going incredibly well right now.
Yes.
I don't know if you were traveling over the Christmas season, but good night. The gas prices were nice to see, especially I drove to Florida. Oh, Harlan did too.
I did too.
Your family was in like the Orlando area, right? My family was over in Tampa Bay, and driving all the way down to Florida, I didn't see one gas price that was over $3 a gallon.
It was incredible for my budget.
Wasn't that nice? I'm telling you. And it looks like now, because the gas station up the road from where I am right now was $2.68 a gallon.
Where are
Which
you
was
at?
nice. Same place you are.
Well, it was $2.99 when I passed it this morning, but it's still under $3, and I'm going to take it.
Isn't that nice?
For it.
So
Yes.
hopefully it'll stick like this for a while.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Aubrey, living proof that God is working miracles. Let me tell you, Aubrey is a little girl. Twin sister and her are dancers, and they were planning on dancing in the Nutcracker like their whole lives. She was injured this summer, bad, like her foot was severed.
Oh, no.
In a horrific accident, and they thought she'd never dance again. But because of the surgeons and the work that was done and her rehabilitation, and of course God's hands, because that's really the only way, she was able to, with help, dance in the Nutcracker with her twin sister this December.
That is so great.
And her sister said, "You know what? I'm not dancing without her, and so you better do something." And, they're just little girls. And she said, "Okay, I'm going to work really hard." And she did. And she was, pushed out and helped. But she was able to get up and dance.
That is so
And
good.
Her dad said she was meant to be a performer. They both are. And they were just out on the dance floor. And their parents couldn't be more happy. I mean, anytime our kids perform, we're like over the moon, right?
And she had a goal, and it sounded like she worked really hard. I mean, to have that kind of injury that Harlan was just talking about, that's a lot of rehabilitation to go through.
Yes. And what would have taken weeks for the doctors to figure out how to deal with took them 6 hours.
No, get out.
And they were able to reassemble, put it back together kind of. And, a GoFundMe was made so that they could afford all of these things that needed
That's
done.
good to hear.
And they were able to. And God's hand was across it the entire time. And she worked really hard and was able to perform.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I don't know if you've been seeing this, but people are moving to different places for different reasons throughout the country. And they say the number one spot, believe it or not, is Vermont. People are moving to Vermont.
Yeah, followed by like Washington, D.C., and then the Carolinas on the list. I've seen a lot of that.
Well, yeah, there's a lot more people that are moving here, but I want to stick on Vermont for a moment because they have harsh winters.
Yeah.
A high cost of living, but people are moving there, they say, because it's so easy to be a remote worker from Vermont.
Why?
Well, a couple of reasons. Like, for instance, if you live here and you work remotely, like in Arizona, you get taxed twice. You get taxed for Arizona and for the Carolinas.
Okay.
It's crazy.
That's a
And
lot.
so in Vermont, there's different laws and things like that when it comes to being taxed as a remote worker. And so some people are moving to Vermont for that reason. And then Washington, D.C. I've been to Washington. I like the historic parts of Washington.
Yeah.
Doing the tours with the kids, because I went twice. Once with Spencer, 8th grade trip, and then Eli went for an 8th grade trip. And I'm like, wow, there's so much rich history that's here. But I stayed at an Airbnb once because I had a visit to the White House, about 4 years ago. And I stayed at an Airbnb, and I'm like, I don't want to live here. I'd like to visit, but I certainly don't want to live here. Not in the area where I was.
It's too much hustle and bustle for me anyway. Like, I mean, it's the capital of our country. It's amazing. It's historical. But it's a lot of people running around doing a lot of things. And
Right?
I need
But-
a more laid back life.
And what was neat to see on the list is both North and South Carolina are on the list of people moving. It's one of the top areas to move to. And I can see why. It's so gorgeous here.
Yeah, you get all 4 seasons and you get to enjoy life at a calmer pace.
You kind of get all 4 seasons. It's hit or miss with the snow. It's hit or miss with
Snow
the ice.
does not
but
make winter.
Right, the colder temperatures
It's
when it dips down into the
freezing.
teens and the 20s.
Freezing right now. It's as winter as it needs to be.
Yeah, but it's only, 30s and 40s right now.
And that's cold enough.